So shadow work from the enlightened perspective then is going deeply into it, going into the heart of those confined energies, perceived confined energies, sitting with it. And you can bring a couple different techniques into this space. One helpful one is complete forgiveness, unconditional forgiveness, no matter what it is. Feel into the energy of forgiveness. Meeting the energy of contraction with the energy of forgiveness is like meeting the solvent with the solute. They combine and become one. And that's what I mean by reconciliation. And that's how shadow work is done from the liberated perspective. So yes, even after awakening, there still remains a good deal of shadow work to be confronted and reconciled and healed. The nice thing is that after awakening, you realize that even the shadow work is just describing nobody. It's not describing you. And yet that energy must be released and recognized in a more direct way than just saying, this isn't me. The neti-neti process, or the process by which you say, this is not me, this is not my nature, to everything that arises, will get you to awakening and can perhaps even walk you through the door to liberation. And then after that, these things will still arise, but the neti-neti process of this is not me, this is not my nature, doesn't stop these things from arising. What ultimately stops these things from arising, these senses of past traumas and family issues, relationship issues, fears, and qualms with the world. Those things continue to arise until the shadow work is complete. And so that process then requires you to confront it and reconcile it, look at it directly, and not only recognize that it's not speaking to you or about you, because you've ultimately discovered there is no you. It's reaching a deep state of peace within those confined energies, or what is perceived as a confined energy. That requires you to become one with it. So this isn't an exercise in dismissal like the neti-neti process, not me, not my nature. Rather, this is a recognition that, yes, this too is part of my nature. This trauma is also part of me. This interpersonal relationship is an element of the nature that I am. Not that I am personally, that I am of existence. That recognition that existence is, the knowingness principle is, and all of this is a fractalization of simply that. So shadow work from the enlightened perspective then is going deeply into it, going into the heart of those confined energies, perceived confined energies, sitting with it. And you can bring a couple different techniques into this space. One helpful one is complete forgiveness, unconditional forgiveness, no matter what it is. And remember, these aren't mental exercises. It's not like you go in and say, I forgive you, or I forgive this. Feel into the energy of forgiveness. Meeting the energy of contraction with the energy of forgiveness is like meeting the solvent with the solute. They combine and become one. And that's what I mean by reconciliation. Entering into the heart of those moments that were at one point dismissed as illusory, now need to be encountered in their fullness. If there is contraction, meet it with the energy of full acceptance, full love. You can't just go in there and say, I love you, I love this, there is love. You need to find the energy of love and bring that energy into the energy of contraction and meet those two. And that's how shadow work is done from the liberated perspective. The liberated perspective is not a perspective held by a being. The liberated perspective is the perspective that is absent of individual beings, and is the recognition that all of this is one being. In that recognition, the shadow work becomes very easy, automatic even, spontaneous and part of your nature. But the work must be done if the world is to become healed. If beings are to become being. If you have any hang-ups with shadow work or how to go about this, drop a comment, or I can even walk you through it one-on-one. All these meetings are free. We're healing the world together. One liberated being at a time. See you there. All my love.